Good morning for Wall Street Media. This is Alina. I'm here with Doug, and we'll help you make money in the stock market with information you can't find anywhere else. We also have a guest.
Yes, we have a very special guest.
Thank you very much.
Big clap for Rikki Tahta
Yes.
from Covestor, founder. Rikki, awesome. Thanks for coming by.
It's great to be here. Thank you very much indeed.
Look, I can hear the cheers from the audience.
Yeah.
You guys, pipe down, pipe down. We want to hear Rikki. He came in from London this morning to do the show. And you're going to tell us Covestor just came out of beta.
Yes, it's been a lot of hard work from the team. It's been really exciting. It's been a lot of feedback from the community, and we've got some exciting new features.
Now, what is the biggest change now coming out of beta?
I think the biggest change is that we now allow people to sign up for Covestor in a limited fashion if they don't meet the same level of hurdles that we had before. In other words, you don't need to have a large account. You can come along without exposing your account and participate in some of the great features that we offer.
Now, how can they participate? They can follow other members?
They can follow other members. They can have a profile page. But of course, if you don't track your own shares and don't have your own accounts, then obviously the functionality is less. But on the other hand, it does allow you to participate and see and benefit from a lot of great investors investing their own money.
Well, because I was looking this morning, and some people had some really unique original takes, right?
Yes.
On some different positions that they're saying, like in a market like this. And I looked at the members list this morning that runs across the homepage of Covestor, and I thought, geez, oh man, I should jump on this, you know?
Well, you know, the great thing about Covestor is that it allows a platform for all sorts of different investors who have different insights and different viewpoints of the market and different markets, whether it's European markets, Far Eastern or American markets, to come and actually show what they're doing.
Well, I saw one this morning that one guy was recommending a short, right? And he's recommending like, oh my God, he couldn't believe he kept it overnight, right? Like that was an eternity for him. And his return was in the 200% range. And then the next idea that I looked at that was on there this morning, the guy has conservative. I don't think he's traded anything in a month, but his return for the year is 22%.
You know,
and I thought, you know something? I'd take either one.
Yeah, I so agree with you. I have this discussion a lot with people. Some people say, hey, shouldn't I just jump at the person? Shouldn't I just watch and follow the person with the biggest return? And no, the great thing about Covestor is that we match the returns with full institutional risk metrics.
Right.
So I personally, just like you, say, you know, that 22% guy, some guy who can consistently show a very low variability, but returns like 22% in this turbulent market, man, I might not want to put all my money tracking what he does, but I'd certainly like to take advantage of his hard work.
Right. Well, he had been an analyst somewhere, and he'd worked in finance on Wall Street at a couple places.
Right.
Right. And now he's in biz dev, and he's got a blog of his own. Right. So I kind of clicked through and got a little feel for who he is. Right. And then I looked on Covestor, and you're showing like alpha and beta and Sharpe ratio. Right.
You know, you make a really good point there, Doug. Clicking through and seeing who someone is and what they're saying and why they're doing it often gives you more confidence than just looking at a list of numbers and trades.
Well, because I wanted to get a feel for it, right? I mean, anybody, right? You know, you can roll the dice and, oh, yeah, gosh, you know, it came up hard 8. That doesn't make me a genius, right?
Absolutely right.
And so I can take a look and I can see here's his background, right? And it was pretty impressive, right? I thought, wow, and this guy's up here and he's available for free. We'll take that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just, it's interesting as you say this, it's not just the background. It's not just, you know, we've got professional money managers up on Covestor. We've got people that have phenomenal personal experience. And we've got people that, frankly, just invest because they love to do it and do the hard work for themselves. But often, it's nothing to do with the background. We're not about, you know, the blue chip Wall Street credentials. We're about saying, if you prepare to do the hard work for yourself and show and be open and honest and transparent.
And here's your results.
You should get the rewards.
A real meritocracy. Wonderful. We love that.
I find personally, as do a lot of people, that the more you explain, even if things go bad, the more you explain, the more trust you build among people that watch what you do.
Right.
And I find that in life, and I find that in investing.
I'm reading Dick Davis' book now, right? The Dick Davis Dividend, right? And he mentions Wall Street Transcript in there and says, like, you know, that was the most popular thing he ever gave away on his radio show in Miami.
Wow.
Right? He said he was giving away Merrill Lynch research reports, and he got, you know, so that way he could tell who was listening on the radio, right? And he said one time he gave away a Wall Street Transcript report and got 10 times as many requests as he did for the Merrill research, right?
Great.
But in there, he says the same thing that you're saying, Rikki. and he was in finance for 40 or 50 years, right? And his newsletter, you know, now he doesn't actively run it any longer, but he just wrote this book. He's getting to be an older guy. But in there, he says the same thing that you're saying, that if you have a pundit or an analyst or anybody else, if they come out and say, I made a mistake, like Warren Buffett does in his annual letter, you know, and I missed the returns on the technology or whatever the case may be, people feel a lot more at ease with trusting you with their money, rather than if you ignore it.
Or even if positions are going against you and you explain your rationale, right? I mean, you never get 100% of the timing right at the total time. And investing, you know, people say, well, isn't investing just like throwing darts at a board? It isn't, because unlike throwing darts at a board, gambling, which is pure chance, a good hard work will win 55 or 60% of the time. But that 55 or 60% has a huge effect, particularly in the world of 3% interest rates, on one's personal returns.
And Dick Davis quotes one of the guys, and he's a big technical guy. And he said, you know, no good investor is right 100% of the time. No good investor is right 80% of the time. He said, and this guy's made billions, and I don't remember his name. But he said, Dick Davis cites him.
I tend to remember the names of people that have made billions I've met.
Well, he cites that's pretty good. It's like a 600-page book. He cites about everybody since Moses has made a dime. But he said, you know, a good investor, he said, you know, for a technical guy, if he's right 65% of the time, he's a genius, you know. And I think that that's true, you know. And the case that you're making, like I jumped into Verizon, right? I have Time Warner Cable. I live here, right? And it's horrible. It's horrible. I would pay anything, but they have a monopoly. I don't have any choice, right? And I've got a couple of internet companies, right? What am I going to do? Not have the internet at home, right? Mm-hmm. Verizon has just got the approval to have their FiOS here in New York, right? And they're a gigantic company, but New York is the biggest market for them, right? And everybody that I know has problems of one kind or another with Time Warner, right? Mm-hmm. I had one of the text me Sunday night. She wanted to log in and her Time Warner cable's out, and it's out for hours and days, you know, right?
Yeah. Do you have Time Warner as well?
I do. Same problem.
And they just got access to the New York City market, right? And I saw this morning they're going to be offering a 50 meg download and 20 meg upload on all of their connections, 50. Right?
Wow.
Right? How many people are going to stampede to that, right? And I just think, and they've been down, and they've been down, and they've been down, and I've just been adding to the positions.
Do you know that's a perfectly logical way of investing? Something that you know, you touch, and you feel as it were the market strength behind it. And that's again another issue. If some people will go, I want to invest behind somebody who touches and feels a product and understands it. Other people would go, frankly, I want to invest on candlestick charts.
And and you can find different styles on there.
And other people would say, you know, I want to just dig into those 10Ks, 10Qs, analyze deep down those special investment vehicles and figure out whether there is some smoking gun or hidden gem in that. People do different things and they do different amounts of work.
Well, that's another thing that he quotes in there, right? Yep. They said, frankly, you know, there's so many different styles where some people are just all tech, some are all research, right? And he said, you know, anything that you did, if you did the exact opposite, it would also, at some point, work. You know, when one style moves into favor, the opposite moves out of favor, and then vice versa, right? And you can find all the different styles on there.
Yes.
You know, and I like that.
Yes, it is about, you know, you can't be 100% right. Well, you can't be right 100% of the time, rather. No. So it's a matter of just finding smart brains, smart people. And in life, I think that's pretty much true.
And finding a style that you like.
Precisely.
So, you know, you have the hyper traders on there. There's one guy that I follow on there that's retired. And that's actually part of his member name, right? Yeah. And that bugger, he must not talk to his wife. Right, because he must have like the hand up at the doorway. Because I see, like, when I get the follow trades from him, I look at it, looks like, oh my God, here's what he shorted and bought and sold. Yeah. And I think, oh my God, this is somebody that's not sitting around watching like Happy Days reruns, you know, or The Price is Right all day.
The great thing about the Covestor
and his return is like 65%.
There you go. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the numbers speak for themselves. It's real money, and so you can't.
Yeah, this is his retirement money.
But the exciting thing about today is coming out of beta is all that hard work, as it were, that we we had in a somewhat closed shop where we basically said you had to meet certain criteria. No one could come and see what you were doing unless you had a certain investment size. So we started pretty much at the really almost professional investor level. Now we're opening up the access to it, allowing more people to participate. Because frankly, as we've said before, the talent isn't just all on Wall Street among the professional firms. It's
no, you can see that here.
And I think that's really exciting thing about what's happened today.
No, fantastic. Thanks for the update, Rick. Awesome. Great to see you as always.
Great to be here.
Great to see you as always.
Thank you for having me in. And
guys, go to Covestor.com. It's free, and you can see the new version now that it's out of beta with all the new features. Fantastic.
Thank
you.
Thank you.